everyone. This is the Select Board Water Commissioner meeting for Monday, October 28th. Excuse me. Tonight's agenda, under old business, we got Historical Society Boone Grant for the historic preservation easement to deal with town property at Sheldon School. Personnel policy update. Under new business, we got the Highway Department report, Seth Cattell, Fire Department budget proposal, got some road cut permits on East Sheldon Road, Swamp Road, water late payments, payroll warrants, accounts payable warrants, minutes from October 14th meeting, town administrator's report. Nancy West is here to talk about public safety. Is there anything else we need to add to the agenda?
I'd like to go into executive session at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
After
For
personnel.
okay. All right, let's jump right in. Who wants to start? You want to start, Seth, and get out of here?
Ken. Since the last time I guess I talked to you guys, we completed the grant work up on Cattell Road of the culverts and ditching. And that's all mulched and seeded. It was October 10th and 12th, the week of October 10th. We did that project. Since then, we've spread some stone on that road and we've graded it so the actual dig spots have come out smooth enough for winter time and travel, I'd say. Yep. And we spread some stone on Murray Road as well and graded it, but that was the day after it rained, and now the roads are like concrete again. Instead of graded, we just back dragged some stone around the backhoe or some potholes here and there. And once we get some rain and softens them up a little bit, I'll touch them up with the grader before cold sets in.
Yeah. Truck's all ready to go.
Yeah, we picked up 6 tires for the 2018. We swapped my summer tires out for my winter tires today. The Western Stars already. So basically we just have to put our wings on. Mount some tires. I ordered like 5 loads of salt to fill the shed. Only one's come since last week, but I guess we're in no rush, but
Yeah.
I expect to see them a few this week, I'd say.
Any word on the pavement for the fire station?
It's supposed to be here
Wednesday.
Oh,
They're supposed to do it. Yeah. Which is the only good day this week, I
Yeah,
think, so.
basically Wednesday or Thursday. So hopefully that works out.
Sure.
We're gonna go around with a pipe leaf blower and take care of the leaves on the court, light them around.
You said that you had some other, the tires that we got are recaps, they're not brand new tires,
Yeah.
we saved some money doing that. And you need a new bed chain for Hunter's truck, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
We're gonna he picked up the tires last week, but they're gonna pick up a bed chain for it.
And some of our blades and cutting edges, it's enough to get by till probably after the first of the year anyway, but we always look to have some on hand, which we do have, but
Yeah.
we could probably get another round or anything.
Most culverts are changed on Crow Hill, those all steel ones up there.
They were, except one was black plastic, it was kind of collapsed, so,
Yeah.
and the other ones are old steel ones.
You go all same size as it was there, or?
They appeared to be smaller. I used 18-inch all the way through.
There isn't any places that you get a lot of water.
There's not they're all running water right now.
Yeah.
So at any rate, that road will be ready for pavement someday.
On these road cuts here, they're,
There's one for Mark St. Peter on Swamp Road, and one for
Swamp Road's just above the one that he kept.
just above. Which I thought there was one that was a farm field driveway that already had a culvert existing. I thought that was the one, but apparently on the map he drew up that he's gonna put another driveway in between the two.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that field one is, Pete's got it right away up too.
Okay, that's what that
So
is.
he was kind
Yeah.
of worried about it, but
Yeah.
he didn't want to have to drive up to somebody's house right away, but
Okay.
maybe that's why he did that.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one on the Sheldon Road, that's for that, to get to that manure pad?
Yeah, which is
Is
already,
that-
it's already been installed. So.
Is it right on the corner or?
Yeah, it's in a good spot, it is, but you can see visually, see both ways.
Probably almost is a better spot than the farm driveway.
Yeah, it's on.
It's past the corner just as you get to the top of the hill.
Yeah, it's on the crest right there, so
Just before the little house.
it's no driveway is a good driveway in that area, but it's better than
Okay,
They picked about the best spot
Yeah.
they could get, I think.
yeah. Alright. Somebody knows it's gonna run into trouble with those,
yeah. One needs a culvert and the other one does not.
Okay.
Just been going over the plow routes with the boys,
Yeah, I mean, I got two new drivers.
showing them kind of where to push off and where to back and not to back and.
Have you had a chance to do anything about turn around down on Bedard Road?
That we have not.
No. That's something we need to look into before smoke gets going.
Possibly, or,
I don't think I got a big enough tractor to pull them out.
Yeah. Is there a spot that we could put one in there?
I don't know, right?
Right?
We could,
It's your property.
I'd give up property to make a better turnaround for them. I mean, you just kind of have to look, you look at
Yeah,
how to do it. I mean, I have water that runs down my driveway and across the
Yeah.
road and washes out a corner of the road. So, I mean, it needs a little bit of work. I don't know if we could do anything, at least temporary, and make it better, but
I mean,
Would it be,
the driveway there is, I mean, it's not gonna get much better than that, I don't think, because it's all pretty much a slope anyway, but, you just have to hug the trees or whatever, and
You plow that with a big truck or
Yeah.
a small truck?
big truck.
well, you're not far from the stone quarry there if you need, if you've got
Alright,
do some work down there, take the time to do it.
yeah,
I mean, one record bill would,
yeah,
pay for 3-4 loads of stone, if
Right.
it's not, you know, get tobacco down there, well, I don't know, is there a lot of trees that would have to be moved, or is there a spot? I don't.
I'm not exactly sure how they-
familiar with it, but-
right, I'm not sure exactly how they,
yeah.
I know how they turn around now, but I don't know if they would change that or prefer to change that, let's put it that way. I mean, it may probably make sense to do that. That way they don't have to back around the ditch, so.
Yeah, maybe we can get in touch with you sometime later this week or something.
Yeah.
We can meet you down there or something and see what we think.
Just see if it's something that's worth doing, or if you could do something to get it, so it's safer to turn around this winter, or if it's worth doing, you know,
Right.
good turnaround there, how much work it would be.
I mean, there's a couple more houses going in down there, so, or at least one on that section of road, so.
Yeah.
Presumably, there's gonna be school buses yet again coming down. So, I mean, it would probably be in the best interest to think about something like this in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, try to get down there and look at that.
Yep.
At least, you know, see if it's something worth making.
Yeah.
Like I should mention that course, during Hubert's week off is when the pump broke down here, so we had to
Yeah.
spend some time
They
fixing
got
that
that
as
fixed.
well.
Yeah, we got that all figured out.
Yeah. Mostly the check valve on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did the PVC pipe. It goes down in the bottom of the sump area, pumps it back to the reservoir.
Oh,
But lucky there's 2 more pumps, because it was like Sunday morning when I was doing the checks. So I just switched pumps and we fixed it Monday morning.
Yeah. Huber's back now.
He was back today.
Yep.
Yeah.
that was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see you, did you, Hubert say, have you talked to Hubert?
Yeah, just this morning.
Did you tell him what, did he tell you what was there when he first showed up?
No. I've been down there before. You have to,
Before we did the upgrade. Yeah, that was interesting. There's 3 pumps, it was down to 1,
yeah,
and that's all there was 1 pump.
yeah,
So there wasn't a switch where you could just turn the other one on and say.
yeah, yeah.
They didn't have the reservoir.
No, they didn't have the reservoir, but they didn't have, it was like, yeah. But the pumps, those were the pumps that fed the system, so. Yeah.
There's plumbing for a 4th pump as well.
What, normally you just run with one?
Yeah, 1.
And they alternate, right?
Yeah.
Just happens to be, well, that's what they do, they stop, they just fail.
We did the guardrails down there on Mill Street. We're working with Vermont Gas. That's going to be an interesting job. Well, on one side it's not a problem, but on the other side where the gas line is, it's kind of the contractor that we work with is a little wary about putting those guardrails in with that gas line there. So we made an arrangement to have Vermont Gas come and be on site when they're doing that, so that if it's got to be done, because we're not really sure what the depth of that gas line is in that area. So it may have to be done by hand, but it'll be better than
That's
once.
a big line, don't it?
Yeah.
There's two others, a 4 and a 2 inch. That one right on the edge of, in between the post now and the edge of the pavement.
So anyway, we're waiting for the contractor to get us a schedule for
Yeah,
that.
that should come up like mid-November.
But they always tend to move their town work to the end of the schedule anyway.
Yeah.
But we've got Vermont Gas that said they'll be on site for that, so it should be, that would be better than not having to around.
Yeah.
Um,
Any more news on that, the sewer stuff down there?
I don't have anything for you today yet. Just know that Nosh is coming on the 12th, and we should finish the camera inspection at that time. Yeah.
Alright. Anything else for us?
Waiting for there.
Yep.
Good come.
We put down 2 tons of hot mix like last week, all those nice days, and we got pretty much everything. There's a few more spots like on the shoulders and stuff. I'm thinking about maybe Wednesday or Thursday going grabbing 2 more tons. Touching up a few more spots and that'll be good enough for.
Yep. There'll be holes in the spring.
Yeah. Better than it was back in.
Yeah.
A lot of roads are in decent shape now.
The last thing is that I think Hunter's got 2 classes left to do in the sewer class, and I haven't talked to Matt since he did do his kind of winter driving training, but I haven't talked to him about how that went since he did. But anyway, I've got to work on scheduling him, Hunter for the exam for his certification, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's all I got on our list here. So,
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Does it matter?
Go ahead, I mean-
Me? I guess it's gonna be me.
All right,
I came here tonight, I did call Steven on the phone. I happen to, know that right now we have no law enforcement contract. And I know that I have several emails from John, Grismore about how we had a contract for 16 hours a week and for some reason we didn't follow through with it. I'm very concerned for not having any law enforcement, not even 16 hours is better than no hours. There's a heck of a lot of speeding going on. We've had guys walking by our house in the middle of the night and our dog scares them off, which thank God I have a dog. There's people walking in the middle of the road up and down in town, and there's I've heard cars being broken into and stuff like that. So I'm looking to see if we can get some kind of contract drawn up and agreement with the sheriff's department so that at least they can come and be visible. I think even just a little visibility is better than none for our town. And he also talked to me or sent me an email about the Governor Highway Safety email that he sent out. And he told me that we never replied to him about whether we wanted to use it. It's no extra funds to us, and it is not just for 105. I was just kind of wondering why, and I know somebody said they thought it was just 105, and on the email it says, we are already aware of multiple issues of Route 105, and they are already addressing that. So let me know, and they can prioritize any areas that we feel that needs to be prioritized. And it was no money to us, and the email was sent out in August, and we never replied or anything to them, and it was no money to us. So that's a little concerning, knowing, you know, we live in the villages, and you guys don't. You know, we see a lot more things. I mean, you live on 105, God help you. It's true though. 105 is crazy. But we see a lot of things in the villages that you guys don't know about, and a lot of people don't call you guys or say anything because they don't know who, and they just figure, a lot of people thought we had law enforcement in the town. A lot of people don't know that we don't. So that's why I'm here. I know there was a contract drawn up for 16 hours, and for some reason Matt replied that the select board decided to not go with it. So I'd like that to know if that can be revisited so we can get some law enforcement, or at least some visibility of somebody here in the town of Sheldon to at least deter criminals. The city of St. Albans is doing a program to clean up St. Albans from all their drug-related issues and the thefts and stuff. And I had a conversation with John, and we talked about how it was going to be on the outskirts. It's going to be moving out of St. Albans. And we're 10 or 15 minutes away from there. I mean, all the small towns, I mean, we see it now. I can tell you a couple of drug places right here in Sheldon. We see it now. What are we going to see when they start that force up and it cracks down on all this? They're going to move out of the city on all the outskirts of the town. And I just want to make sure that we have something in place before that happens. So that's why I'm here. And I'd like to know if we can still get hold of John to see about the Governor Highway Safety. That wasn't any cost to us if we have some areas which is having, I mean, any road in the creek or in the springs people speed on. So, you know, so.
Yeah, I think we can put that on our next meeting agenda to revisit that police contract, have that discussion again. Right now, there's only 3 of us here, and we probably have to have a new proposal, I think, and make sure everything's the same. But yeah, and as far as that, we had the discussion on that email from John on that highway thing, and I don't remember exactly how the discussion went, but I think we kind of said, well, any road in town, but, you know, we didn't, at that time, we didn't know if we were gonna have coverage from sheriff's department or what was going on.
Right, but it even says,
I know,
you know.
I know it's not any cost to us, and if he's gonna be doing Franklin County, then I guess we could invite him in to cover, you know, any of the highways in town if he wants to. Maybe some presence in the village or in Sheldon Springs would be something.
Well, there was some discussion about, well, they had several, they've had meetings in Enosburg,
I'm aware of that.
and I don't know if, I think Nick went to a few. I don't know if there was, maybe there was gonna be light in that for the police enforcement, or, but I don't know where that's going, so. Probably could revisit the sheriff's contract. There's no one walking in the middle of 105, I can tell you that. Walking up and down the road.
Not on 105, no. But they do in the, they do in the village, you know.
People
I mean, we
not
almost-
against the law to walk up and
Well, no, but we almost hit one the other day because
I
he was all over
understand.
the road and it wasn't pretty.
Right.
So, and I know it's not illegal to walk up and down the road.
Oh, it is.
My
In the middle
thought,
of the road is it.
right, I mean, it's a public highway, we're all aware of that. but
Right. Every once in a while, somebody not wearing the right clothes in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just thinking of the safety concerns.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Well,
There's something to be said about what you said.
Pardon?
I said there's something in what you say about, you know, how successful they are at trying to reduce the crime in St. Albans, and will that push that out into outlying areas or not? Well, that's, you know, to be seen, but it's very possible.
It is very possible.
It's very possible. Depends on their success at.
Right, this is true, but I mean, if they start sweeping and cleaning, they're gonna move out of the city. And, you know, and we're not that far away, and neither is like any of the small towns around, you know?
Yeah. That's for sure.
So I don't know if you're gonna have Matt get back to him about, see if we still can do something to do with the governor highway safety. Maybe we can give some areas or get back to him and,
yeah.
because I mean, that's no cost to us why we revisit the contract and stuff.
Contact the sheriff's office, ask him, you know, about the contract, if that would still be the same terms and any other information on that highway safety thing, and we can talk about it next meeting.
Right, okay.
Hopefully we get a full board and we can make a decision then.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about it is that, you know, we made our, the board made the decision on the contract, the first meeting in July, and I kind of said to the sheriff, I let the sheriff know about that at the time, and I said, you know, let us know if you want to talk about this in the future, and at that time, he was saying like, well, we'll talk about this again next year. So it did not seem like he was, but then again, when we started talking with our regional partners about a regional model, he had a proposal for that also, which the other towns weren't interested in. So there's been a couple of, there's gotten different signals from him at different times over that, but I certainly can get in touch with him again and see if he's willing to re-enter those discussions at this time. And then on the, I could just say that I did bring that email to the board. I don't recall the discussion at that time either. It may be that we were thinking it was for the state highway and not for the entire town.
I believe there was some additional information we requested that never came through from the
So-
sheriff's office. So.
Yeah, so, but I can certainly ask him about that.
I was saying,
So,
he didn't get an email because I went in person and, and he printed me off the email because he was telling me about it.
Mhm.
Because I didn't know it, reading the email, if it was stated just 105, and it does not. It says they were working on 105, they are aware of the problems, addressing it this week of multi-issues. And if there is any if there is wanting to reach out to see if there's any specific areas that you would like us to address. So, and he did not receive another email back, he did not receive one from the town of Sheldon.
Well, first you would need a contract.
No, that was for the government grant,
Oh.
the one that's no cost to us. That had nothing to do with the contract. That has nothing to do with having a contract or not having a contract. It was the government highway safety grant that they got. And they were reaching out to all the towns. I mean, they reached out to Fletcher, Enosburg, Richford, Fairfield, Sheldon, I don't even know where else, but Berkshire. So, and there was no cost to them, so.
Yeah, I'm certainly look into it and revisit that contract and see if there's it's worthwhile pursuing or not. We'll have a better idea on that other discussions going on there. I mean, Tom Oliver updated, he's one of the representatives for that police commission study they're doing. He came in and gave us a little update a while back. We haven't heard from him since. Him and Bob Norris are on there. And so, yeah. Look at it.
Until something like that happens, I mean, we should have some kind of a coverage.
We should.
You always have state police 24/7.
And there's two of them. There's two
Still
or
have state
three of
police
them.
from other counties
Right,
as
you
well,
call
so.
it, your chances of getting an officer is slow than none.
Oh, I know.
You know,
That's a
so,
fact
right,
like
you-
ambulances too. You
you're
can't
right.
get an
I
ambulance
mean,
when you need it.
But I'm hoping 16 hours a week is virtual. I mean, to me, that's not even enough, but something is better than nothing. And we all know if you call the state police, you're not gonna get them. You better have committed a murder or robbery, or there's a dead body to get them. They're short-staffed, they're all over the place. I mean, they're all over in Vermont, you know?
And just going back to the whole contract thing, we couldn't even be guaranteed the hours the last I knew. So that's one of the issues that
Right.
the board has to deal with.
I know he talked about in the emails about a 16-hour contract, and that he was drawing up a model. And then there was a yes, we were gonna go ahead, back and forth, a yes, and there was a no, and then there was a yes, and then there was very sorry, that the select board didn't do it.
Well, the reason they didn't sign the first time because the contract had so many typos in it that I wouldn't sign it. We were ready to sign it,
Right,
but there were so many mistakes in it that it didn't represent what we were trying to get for
right,
coverage, so we sent it back to them. And then it got decided that we were gonna hold off or, because like Rick said, he couldn't guarantee even 16 hours. It depended what he had for staff and but I know where you're coming from. Some coverage is better than no coverage, I guess, but we didn't feel confident that we were gonna get what we were, promised in the contract, I guess, at the time. But we can revisit it and maybe have him come back and talk to us or something here and see where he stands now and how well he's staffed and everything, and look at it again.
great.
Planning commission, you got everything all,
The plan commission, we meet tomorrow night. We are looking at the, my mind just went blank from one to the other. We just did the town plan and now we are looking at the,
Zoning bylaws.
thank you, the bylaws. Each member had to read, we're reading certain sections together. We'll meet tomorrow and see if everything's okay and then we'll just keep going from there. We have a meeting tomorrow night at 6 o'clock and we'll start doing the bylaws. We're down a member, so. But that's about it. Our big town plan is done, okay. went to bed. So now it's just our bylaws we have to do. Yep, that's it.
Down a member. One member.
You are down one member. Yep. Peer parent stepped off the planning board but stayed on the DRB board.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it.
So should we be looking for another member?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Okay?
good.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thanks for coming in there.
Yep.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Raymond,
Evening.
good news for us?
So, got this map this week, and I know that he said he made copies for everybody.
Yep.
I'm glad to say that, I think it's a flat budget. The CPI September to September was 3.4%. So we just added that so that we have the same spending power this year that we had last year. The one thing that looks a lot different, of course, is the equipment fund. The station should be paid for, so the $30,220 moved into the equipment fund as we had spoke last year. So that total that's in there, $83,040, is the combination of the $52,820 from the equipment fund and that $30,220. We did use 4% as a raise there because it does cover both inflation and there's always regulatory stuff that changes with emissions and stuff, so we use 4% for that number. But with the stipend not rising at all, down in the bottom right corner, you see that we're at a 3.3% increase.
How you doing with this year's budget?
So very well.
Be pretty well if you know increases there.
Yeah, we have, as of the 23rd of October, we'd expended 39.02%. Now that, of course, does not include the equipment fund and stuff. We're really right on line to be right where we should be. We've got a little bit of play left there where we have ordered some stuff now. So we've left a sufficient fund to get through the rest of this year. We did receive, I think the last time that I was here, I told you that it appeared we were going to be the recipient of a grant. We did indeed receive a grant from FEMA to help us to replace the rest of our hose and nozzles that we had been in that program of replacing over the last 2-3 years. That was $28,610 for that grant that we awarded. And all the equipment that had been authorized through that grant is on order. We have a very small portion of that we're responsible for that we will take out of our funding for this year. So we're in good shape currently, and I think that the projects that we're looking at next year, this budget will get us there in good shape. Including our biggest goal this coming year will be to get a standby generator in place down there. So we do operate or recognize as a shelter for the school during evacuations. And we do have dispatching equipment in there so that when there is a call, it actually comes to the fire station and it gets rebroadcasted from the fire station. We have had 2 times this year where that has not worked. We've actually had 2 different times when we've had power outages, where we had calls and the garage doors don't go up like they normally do. You have to manually open them. But the bigger issue is the dispatching does not work.
Have you had anybody look at that, see how big of a generator you need?
We have, we've looked at what our maximum load is. And we just, this past week, got an estimate from Rainville, Eric. And we need a 22,000 kW generator. Yeah, 14 would do the job. So we upsized it by 50%, so 22. We're very fortunate that we have natural gas right there, so it'd be natural gas power. Yeah, so that includes an automatic transfer switch and stuff, so that if it happens in the middle of the night, then our communication system would be operational.
Yeah.
So that's a goal for this coming year. The monies are in this, we feel like the money's in this budget to get that done this coming year.
What do you give you for a quote? Just curious.
The quote was about $11,000. We have to have some gas work done,
Yeah.
because he doesn't do the gas work, but that even included a pad. So there is a manual transfer switch there now, so it's not a huge ordeal for them to switch it out and put an automatic switch. Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound bad. Because I'm just asking because we went through this and I just put in a natural gas one, but it's a lot bigger.
Yeah, so
So I was just curious.
everything at the station, with it, the building was built in 2010. Hard to believe it's 14 years old now, but
No.
everything in the station is LED. A lot of stuff is slow start. We do have one large air compressor that maintains so that our trucks are plugged in all the time, so that
Yep.
the air brakes are up on them.
Yep.
That air compressor is big, and then the compressor that we were awarded last year to fill our air bottles. But that has a slow start on it. So Vermont Electric was contacted, and the co-op, and our maximum load was 14. So,
Yeah, no, that would be good.
yeah.
Well, good. I think that looks good as long as you're keeping everything going and up and running. What's the latest on the truck?
It still looks like it's a April, May delivery, pretty close to where we projected.
Yeah.
I actually talked to Kim just the other day, because with her potentially leaving in a town meeting and somebody new coming on, it's my thought we probably should have the financing in place for that. Prior to because when the truck gets here, they need to be paid. So we should have the financing in place for that sometime between the first of the year and probably the middle of February or so. So
Okay.
we don't have to worry about it, and Kim knows how it's worked in the past, and
Yep.
so we'll work with her.
Do you know where the financing is coming from?
I'm sorry,
Where is the financing coming from?
we haven't determined that yet.
Keep it
The board had agreed that the ARPA money would probably make the first payment. And so I think they've got some money committed to that. And then the second payment will be, there should be 2 of the 30,220 station payments in the account. And then the ARPA money would make the remainder of that potentially the second payment. And then after that, the truck, current engine one, will be 100% paid for. So that was my recollection of how that was.
That sounds about what we discussed. So, good. Anything comes up between now and when we finalize the budget on that, just let us know.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I mean, I added the 3.4 into all the insurances and stuff too, just as, we never know what those are gonna be. Can't give us those numbers at the end of the day, but
Some could be more and some could be less.
that's why as long as the bottom number stays pretty close, it works for all of us.
That's right.
Keep everything running in good shape and the bottom number stays pretty close and
Yeah, you
done a
know,
good job.
we were talking about this just the other night at the fire station. This is a very strange phenomenon has happened where since they started work on 105, and I know they only did like 1/3 of it in Sheldon, we have not had an accident on 105.
Yeah.
Well, and
But I mean, since the beginning of May, or since the end of May, we did 50 last
I
year.
was gonna say,
Since the construction started, since the signs went up.
yeah.
I don't know if
the cars are coming into Sheldon in, you know, big groups. You know, they're coming in,
Yeah.
so they're just,
With all the,
I don't know if it really slowed them down a little bit, or just more awareness,
I don't
or.
think they slowed down much from the land house. Maybe. Maybe.
get a lot forward.
That's good.
It's just a fluke, I don't know.
Observation.
I'm sorry?
It's just an observation.
Yeah.
We're having an effect on the traffic flow, that's for sure.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
What do we got on that historical society grant?
So, I think I talked about this with you, Steve, already. But,
Yeah.
After I had Steve come down and Steve came in and signed the easement, as you had approved it at the last meeting. But I talked to, Jim Barlow, our attorney, since then, and he reminded me that, there is a provision in the state law that if a town is going to, convey real estate, there needs to be notice published for 30 days before that conveyance can happen, so that the residents have the opportunity to petition if they don't want to see that real estate conveyed, and he believes that would apply to an easement as well as to, you know, an actual deed of the land. So, not sure that you need to take any. You've already approved the easement, so I'm just gonna, I will publish, if that's still your pleasure, I will publish the notice so that in 30 days' time, you can take direct action on that and we can approve it. And I've talked to the Broom Grant people and they're aware of that provision, so they're okay with waiting that long.
Waiting
So.
for another 30 days.
Yeah, and Jim, I forgot to print out the email, but he basically said that he didn't find anything to quibble with in the easement. The only thing that we have to do on that is that in the deed, when the Oregons sold that land to the town, there is a reference to the right of way that goes out to their pasture in the back, but technically that is still a town right of way because there used to be a town highway there, and that's retained as a legal trail still at this time. And right, so there's a public right of way. So Jim says you don't really need to you don't have to list that as an encumbrance on an easement, but he said the town, just out of abundance of caution, might want to put that there may exist a private right of way as well as the public right of way to that tract of land out the back. So I've incorporated the language that he suggested into that.
I think Oregon's retained that, just in the case that the town
If the town
threw up
Right.
the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. So actually, there's the League of Cities and Towns circulated an email or they have a survey that they want towns to be filling out about legal trails, because I guess there's some court case that is brewing. I forgot what town it's in, where somebody's trying to sue a town to, as a private landowner, to assert some right to, that would, if it was decided the wrong way, would, you know, jeopardize legal trails in Vermont. But I'm not sure that, I mean, we have 3 legal trails remaining in Sheldon, but I don't think the town really expends any resources at this time maintaining them. And I'm not sure how vital those are as an interest in Sheldon, but I will fill out the survey. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But
What are the legal trails?
so it used to be a town highway.
Oh, no,
It's
no.
retained, there, in
Where?
Sheldon, there's one, what used to be, McMahon Road, which is off of the East Sheldon Road, and it, in theory, connects with where the Eldridge Road comes out.
Okay.
So that's one. The one I met, as I said, behind the, from Bridge Street, right next to the Historical Society, going out through where the gravel pile is, if you kept continuing all the way out onto Central Street, there's a legal trail there. And the third one, there used to be one in your driveway all the way to the Sweet Hollow Road. That used to be a legal trail, but the town threw that up, I
Yeah.
believe. And the last one, I think, is in West Sheldon, between the Russell Road and Cook Road. There's a kind of a hedgerow there that is a legal trail, I believe. It's on the town highway map there if you really want to find it. But they're basically hedgerows that aren't really next. The one next to the Historical Society is the only one that even looks like a road anymore, so.
It's a legal right of way
Right, yeah.
with no, you know, a trail, but
Right.
you potentially,
Could come back to a road.
that's right, because it's, the lines are still there.
Yeah. You can develop it into a
That's right.
bike path or whatever, you still have the right to do, yeah, a road or a four-wheeler.
At McMahon Road, you could clear the McMahon Road out and bring it up to town standards and then you'd have a road. In 100 years, that might be the case. Probably be some other roads too. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
There's a few roads in town that weren't here 100 years ago too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll put that up for notice?
Yes, I will. Yeah.
That'd be good. Town property, Sheldon, how'd that discussion go?
So I think it went well. So I met with Morgan Daybell, the business manager at the supervisory union, and Vern Colbert, who does the facilities, and kind of showed them what showed them the deeds for the property that I found, and then the map that we discovered that was there was a survey that was made around the time the ball fields were made that proposed a subdivision that, as I said, has sort of governed the way that everybody's thought about the town-school relationship down there. But as I said, it's a subdivision map, it's not a deed. So by deed, I think the land around the school technically still belongs to the town, and the forest on the other side belongs to the school. And I reiterate, so we went over that, and I did mention the other things there that the town still owns. The town owns the sewer line going through there, the town owns the water line, where the well used to be, and the water, and that's on a separate deed. Both of those things are. And we discussed what they would like to do as a solution down there, at least in the short run, where they'd like to create an additional traffic loop. I think the last time they came to see you, they proposed as a bus loop, but actually now they're thinking of that as a car loop and keeping the area where the buses go now still for buses. But it would not, and they would like to take the lower parking lot that is now gravel near the where the nature center is, and I think they'd like to pave that and make it larger for teacher parking there, employee parking there. So anyway, I explained to them that, you know, the advice of our attorney so far is that it would be, he thinks it would be best if the town would quit claim that to the school district, and because then that would simplify it would simplify this operation they want to do. They would not have to need the town to work with them on where this would go. And then it would also simplify possibly the, whatever liability there might be on that parcel. So they were agreeable to that. They asked me if the town would really want to keep any particular part of that parcel, and I said I don't think so. The way that it was subdivided in that plan back in the 80s was that one part was supposedly kept for the library in case the library needed a grant, I think, and another part was subdivided out for the recreational committee to take care of, which, as far as I know, there's never been a recreation, at least not a standing committee to do that. So, and we had a discussion about, the history of the maintenance down there and how that sort of changed about 5 years ago in terms of the school deciding to take on more maintenance. And I reiterated that the town really just wants to, I think what the town is most interested in is everybody knowing whose job is what. So I mentioned that we had discussed the generator, and the town committed to taking care of that. It's just, and the reasons why we had gotten away from that, because we thought they were going to be taking care of that. And anyway, so I think everybody understands the situation with the generator, and they were very agreeable to if the town wanted to proceed with the plan that our lawyer has suggested. I think they would be amenable to that, and they said they would, if we wanted to retain an easement to access, if we ever wanted to take care of the water or the sewer line or things like that, we could certainly have that if we wanted. But anyway, I will discuss that with. What I've not asked Jim Barlow for is to write an opinion of that, which is what I was meaning to do for this meeting. I haven't gotten that done yet. I'm sorry, but so I figured that might be the easiest thing for you guys to discuss if I had that prepared for you.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to proceed with that transaction, the thing we were talking about just a few minutes ago about the town conveying property and needing to publish notice, that would have to be done at a minimum. So anyway, it was a pretty congenial meeting, and we talked about some other things related, just concerns that people have asked me about with the parcel that the school owns on the other side with the forest and the trails there that is also for the public to use. I knew at some point a group of volunteers created those trails through there, and I said, in the future it'd be good to work with the school on, either developing a volunteer group or something that would work on recreational property in general in Sheldon between the school and the town, the ball fields, etc. So, it was just a very general conversation about that.
So we
Yeah.
would prepare a deed for the school
That would be the idea, yeah.
and retain the water line, sewer line
Correct.
rights, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And
And whether or not that would be, controversial or not.
I don't, as I said, I think the discussion I had with Jim about, I know that the board has some concerns about whether, maintaining public access to that facility, but as Jim pointed out, it's still a public school, so it's still a public facility. And the use of the land for the school is would dictate access to that property anyway. So if the school wanted to limit people coming onto the property during school hours, that would apply whether the town owned the land or the school owned the land.
Well, I think they're doing that now.
Right, exactly. And the supervisor union said, had no problem with when the school's not in session, they have no problem with people accessing
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like you said, it'll clear up some of the liability issues, who's responsible
They
for.
don't have to fix the fence.
Right. Right.
Or, somebody gets hurt out on that field, who's responsible?
Right. Right, and who has to deal with, if somebody wants to coach a clinic down there, who has to give permission for that and all that? Because right now, they kind of contact both the town and the school, and it's kind of needlessly complicated, I think. So,
Yeah.
anyway, it was a,
I don't know if that'll solve their parking and traffic problems, but if it's,
Yeah.
clean up some of it else.
right, we did discuss, kind of the longer term picture there, because of course with the recent, there's been some changing of the property holding on Port Farm Road, so there may be eventually some more development down there other than what there was before, so traffic certainly has increased on that road the last few years, so this may be what they're proposing now may be only a temporary solution that we may have to revisit in the future, possibly changing the road, but they did say that if they did implement the changes that they had, they would probably ask the town to change some of the traffic pattern there, possibly move the stop sign from where it is probably down to, right now there's a stop sign at the end of the dirt section, but they would probably move the stop sign to the other end of the parking lot so that if people were going around this loop, there would be a general like three-way stop sign there. So that, but obviously they would we'd cross that bridge when we came to it anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of talked about the pressures on that property in terms of the school population going up and the, just more development happening in Sheldon and what might happen in the future there with traffic patterns and all that, so, but.
Straighten the road out, just go down the long ground. Put the turn at the end, or just to get on the road car on 105. Just put the turn down there in the woods. Where you straight down, then turn over, and then go on. And then you wouldn't have any interference up there by the school. But I don't know, that was been proposed before, but we got, I didn't like it.
I mentioned that to them.
But that's,
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's where I thought we were going with this last time, when we first started meeting with them, and they had an engineer come, and they had 2 or 3 different plans, but nobody liked any of the plans that he came up with, and that's when they thought maybe it'd be more beneficial to make a separate driveway for a drop off there. Not sure how that's all gonna integrate with those coming back in, but maybe
yeah.
who knows? Alright,
Well,
so that's that, I guess.
if they take over the whole property, they can decide.
You'll get a opinion from our attorney on that, and then we can make a decision.
Yep.
This personnel policy update, we'll wait till we have.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. So you guys certainly read that. I'm sure there's a few things in there that I could improve, but.
Back on the school property
Sure.
there, what's the timeline on that? Have they got a timeline on that when they wanna, we'd like either transfer the property to them? Or what's their timeline on
This
there?
driveway project, something I wanna try to do next summer.
I think they'd like to get it done as soon as then, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if, of course, I don't know if you wanna bring that up at town meeting.
right, I mean, that is a question about,
It could be a, I don't know. Or just post it and transfer it.
that's certainly something you guys to
I don't think
consider,
anyone,
yeah.
I don't think that the general public would think any more of it one way or another. They know it's Sheldon. They know it's Sheldon School.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe. Maybe ask Jim what he thinks we should do on that.
be nice,
Or, yeah, or get a hold of Morgan and see how quick their timeline is.
Okay.
That's something we should
Yeah,
wait till.
we're gonna do it, we can get it,
Or if they wanna try to get rolling
yeah,
sooner than later.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright. What's the water late payments here?
So, I don't have anything there were, I just letting you, sorry, this is just to let you know that there were a couple of people who paid they seem to have happened at the same time where they paid their water bill came in late and, a delinquent payment or a fee was added to them and then they both called and said, no, I sent my bill in on time and the clerk, and there were people who have never had a late payment before, and there were I think it was two that happened exactly at the same time, so the clerk figured there must have been either something wrong with the mail or something, so she decided to cancel those fees, and I was just letting you know about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not really an action item, although I do think we need, in a general, look at the water fees and all the discussion we've had in the past about that. We probably should come up with a more clear abatement process for that, how we go about that. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that.
Yep.
Not forget. Yep.
Alright, let's, sign this papers here.
Yeah.
Well, we have minutes from the last meeting. Select Board Water Commissioner meeting from October 14th of 2024. In attendance from the board here was Stephen Dodd, Seth Hungerford, Nick Norris, Piasny, and Greg Stebbins. Others were Matt Stebbins, Town Administrator, and Gary Vasey from Northwest Access TV. 7:46, I opened the meeting and read the agenda. 7:48, board took up grand list errors and omissions submitted by Assessor Justin Mason. The value of Tammy and James Torrey's mobile home was changed from $37,900 to $44,600 after inputting the correct model year and increased to $6,700. A parcel that Dustin and Danielle Macy sold after April 1st was inactivated and added back to their home property for this year. The inactivated parcel reduced the value from $362,300 to $0, and the Macy's remaining property increased by $297,500. At 7:50, Nick moved, seconded by Rick, to approve the errors and omissions certificate, and the motion carried. 7:51, the board took up the historic preservation easement agreement on the historical society building. Matt explained that entering an easement agreement was a condition of the Broom grant, which the historical society received to repair the roof and staircase. The easement is for 5 years and limits any change to the historical character of the building. 7:56, Greg moved to approve the easement, seconded by Nick. Motion carried with all in favor. Steve will arrange to have his signature on the agreement notarized by the clerk. 7:57, Matt went over the most recent draft amendment to the personnel policy. He's reorganized the policy into fewer sections. An appendix will be added with the drug testing policy for employees that drive commercial vehicles. At 8:10, the board took up the request for a second-class liquor license for Stewart Shops LLC, which recently purchased the Jolly Store in Sheldon Springs. The application is for the same license guaranteed by the board to Jolly earlier this year. Nick moved and seconded by Seth to approve the license, and the motion carried. 8:12, the board took up the road cut permit application for Macy and Sons Dairy LLC. Foreman Seth Patel has surveyed and approves the driveway location, but has not signed the application because he was away on vacation last week. The board declined to sign the permit until a sketch of the location was provided. At 8:13, the board took up a right of occupancy request for Monoelectric Co-op. Velco is planning to relocate its transmission lines at Patel Road, and the request is for 3 aerial crossings and 4 underground crossings. At 8:18, Seth moved and seconded by Nick to approve the right of occupancy request. The motion carried, the board signed the agreement. 8:19, I read the minutes from the September 23rd meeting, and the board signed payroll and account payable warrants. 8:24, Nick asked that the minutes be corrected to show the full board attendance. With this correction made, Nick made a motion, Rick seconded to approve the minutes, and the motion carried. At 8:25, Steve read the proceedings and minutes from the September 30th town plan public hearing meeting. Seth moved and seconded by Greg to approve the proceedings and minutes as read, and the motion carried. 8:27, I read the minutes from the October 1st special meeting. Rick made the motion and Greg seconded it to approve the minutes as read, and the motion carried. 8:34, Matt gave the town administrator's report. Water leak on Pleasant Street was repaired. Greg asked whether the town or customer was paying for the repair. The board discussed whether the town maintains the line to the curb stop or to the meter. I suggested this be reviewed when updating the water and sewer policies and fees. Paving at the fire department at Grist Mill Park has been delayed for a few weeks by the contractor. The road crew completed the grants and aid project on Patel Road. Matt attended a meeting with other town administrators and managers. Matt and Assessor Justin Mason have begun fall inspections of new buildings. Matt is preparing for a preliminary 2025 budget discussion in November. Seth asked about the sewer extension and camera inspection. Matt has contacted Otter Creek and Menage. Remaining camera inspection will be November 12th. At 8:49, Seth made a motion, seconded by Greg, to adjourn the meeting, which carried was all in favor. Next meeting is Monday, October 28th, here at 7:30. Make a motion to accept these minutes as read. A second on that.
Yeah, second.
All in favor? All right. Oh. Well, with all these new houses going in on the Swamp Road, can you look at what procedure would be good to extend that road?
Yeah. Seth and I have been talking about, or we talked about the possibility of doing that. So one thing I don't know if he mentioned it, that when they did that grants and aid work, a lot of that fill material that they took out of the dishes, they trucked down there in the event, and spreading eventually out. It'll be there if we ever do want to widen the road down there or improve it. So, but I will check into that process.
Right now, what they had there,
That's where the old farm was.
right? Is that still a class 1 road there? Or no?
That is
It's a class 4 road on the end
yeah,
to a certain point, and then after that it's not. Yeah.
down to where it was for Roddy's and Pete's there. Because the old road, Pete said, used to go up, not up his driveway, but up over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still a trailer, right out to Johnson's.
Right.
Right.
But the front part of that trail where you come off the Swamp Road kept it clean.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
There's still a trail through there.
But I'm saying
It's
that,
not
you
on
know,
the
it's,
original path.
originally that road stopped up there and they turned around where the old farm was.
That's right.
And the rest was Churchill's, but now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses down there.
Who owns the road?
Well, it's a class 4 town road, but
Oh, it is.
they maintain it, the owners down in there maintain it. I'm saying now that there's that many different owners down there that maybe the town should take over maintaining that down to the bottom there. You know, 'cause it's not just a couple homeowners down there that are maintaining that. Because originally when Churchill's were building in there, they were told that the road ended at the top of the hill and they were gonna have to do it. But you look on the maps and it's a class 4 road down through there. And that's why they allowed these extra houses to go in down there. But I'm saying maybe we need to upgrade that to.
Well, we'll just put it in the budget next year and we'll reclassify it in February as a class 3 road.
That's what, yeah, I'm wondering what we need to do to reclassify it.
I don't think you need to do anything, you just need to,
Yeah.
and we'll get that
Yeah, the
report in
maintenance to
February.
it, yeah.
If it's on the map, it's a class 4, it just needs to be penciled, you know, change the, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, because we declassified them, but I've never been in the process of
That's
changing
right,
them.
but-
So that's why I didn't know what we needed to do.
We throw them up, we throw them up.
We throw them out,
But that's a different procedure, but I don't think there's any.
I'm trying to think
All there
what's
is
last
the
time.
expense of, for the county to, you know, put a serial in there, upgrade it and put it, decide where the turnaround's gonna be.
right, yeah,
Put in a- Put a turnaround down there and, call it for there.
Yeah.
I guess when you do the report, in February, or if you do the work next summer. I mean, you could put it in as a class 3 this year, and plow it the way it is, and upgrade it next summer. You'd get the, you'll get the, you know, the rate on the class 4 and the class 3 is different.
Mhm.
And you're talking about close to a mile of road there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How good is that? I haven't been down there in
Straight.
years.
It's one thing is straight.
It's got a good base on it, but it's not wide.
Right.
That's the thing, we might have to widen it out.
There's an expense to it, but like I said, with the amount of homes that are down there,
But there's plenty of slopes, so it'd be easy to dead,
yeah.
you know, widen it out and fix the ditches down through there and a turnaround down at the end, I think.
It takes all that sap traffic.
Yeah, takes that pretty well.
Oh, there's a lot of traffic on that road.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Steve, you testify that.
It takes that pretty well.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so, anyway. I think that's all there is to it. It's,
The worst part of that road is after the culvert dams there where that sheet part of the, you know, where it's woods on both sides there, but they fixed that, that's improved. considerably in the last
Oh, yeah.
couple of years.
I would say, I don't think there's anything more to it than just, you know, the board approving it and, you know, knowing it in the,
We had to have a hearing because, you know, when you.
I don't believe it, because it's already a class 4 road, so you, done that one already, haven't you?
You got anything else, Russell?
Yeah, I'll give you a real quick rundown here. All right, so I mentioned the water pump repair and they're going to pave, the plan is to pave the fire department and the grist mill on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're just, I think we have one more day left on the property inspections, those are going well for this year, so we're just have East Sheldon left to do, and there's a couple on 105, including Steve's farm that we'll probably get to this week, on Wednesday. So, as Nancy mentioned, the planning commission is going to meet tomorrow to go over the the zoning bylaws and start getting those updated with the changes that were made to the town plan because of the changes in state law that would, so with the new zoning district in Sheldon Springs, there will have to be new zoning requirements for that district based on the smaller lot size is the idea. With regard to the town plan, it has not totally gone through approval yet. The regional planning did not quite, I guess they had some problem warning the public hearing for that. So the public hearing for it's going to be November 20th, and it will be, assuming that goes well, the planning commission will approve it at their meeting on December 11th, but they don't foresee there being any issue with that. So anyway, we'll still be approved in good time for all the things that you need to have a town plan to qualify for. Couple other things to mention. The Northwest Fiberworks, the communications district that I'm on the board for, has put out their budget for next year, and there'll be a public hearing on that next week, I believe, or first week of November. Just to let you guys know about that they will be moving forward with it. They've sort of been amassing funds and getting ready to actually build some infrastructure, and they're not really ready to announce where that will be, but they should begin building something actually next year. So they're excited about that. They've had some staff changes where they have a new treasurer who's very well qualified to deal with all the grant administration work they have. So pretty pleased with how that organization is working right now. There are some grant projects I'm looking at. One would be the Better Roads program that the state has, which is, there are several different tiers of that, one of which is a lot like the grants and aid work we just did. So that's just where the town would need to sign a letter of intent to participate in the program, and in which case you would agree to a 20% match of the funds, and we would do the same sort of work that was done on that, where we would find some roads that needed updating with respect to the stormwater general permit, and we'd work with Northwest Planning to identify those. There's also a larger Better Roads grant that might apply to like stormwater infrastructure, some larger structures, things like that. So I'm kind of looking at that area of Mill Street between the fire department and where the mill is. Maybe if we could improve some of the drainage down there. I was thinking, so I'm kind of talking to Kyle Grenier at Regional Planning about developing something for that. There's also, I just got a notice today about another grant program, which is the one that, so I had said to you before, I wasn't sure if there would be grant funding for salt sheds available, and apparently there is this program. They just got the announcement for it today, so they have what's called the Transportations Alternatives program that could include funding for a salt shed. So that would be an application that we would put in by December, and then I think they would award the money by April, I think, or April or May. But that I have to look at that because that comes with quite a lot of strings, because I think it is federal money. So there would be a lot of compliance to do on that with. So I think
probably would be more elaborate than what we got.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it might be a I'm not sure, it would, I'm sure it'll be more elaborate than what we have over there, but, I'll have to research whether it would be worth it to, whether the, you know,
You stay in the red tape.
right, exactly. Well, for one thing, I know, I don't think we would be allowed to just build our own building like some other towns have done, so you'd have to get a contractor and actually do all that.
An engineer, you wouldn't know, yeah.
But,
Not that it wouldn't be, it would be good, but it's just something to look at.
yeah, so I'll be investigating that. One other note on the Historical Society, I haven't heard what the results were, but they did do some brownfields testing over there last week, having to do with, well, I think they initially looked at that over there because there used to be gas tanks over there, and my understanding is that the gas tanks aren't leaking, but there is some residual chemicals there from that massive fire that happened back in the 30s, and that's what they're worried about containing or something. So anyway, they had done some additional testing over there last week, and I haven't
You're
heard.
talking about out where the creamery was?
Yeah, in the back there on the same property. So I haven't heard what the results were of that, but I know that they did. Somebody was there last week. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Anyway, next week, of course, is the election coming up. I know the town clerk is a little anxious with dealing with all the requirements of that, but so she'll be very happy when that's over, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And another.
She did mention that was her last election she has to go through.
Yeah.
She was happy about that.
Yeah. And the other thing that is coming up is that Agency of Agriculture pre-hearing on the fine, which I think. I gotta look that up. Sorry, Steve. Yeah. I think it's the 6th or the 7th. Let me just check here.
We forgot to ask Anson Tibbetts about it, we could pressure it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's in November.
Yeah. It's right. Just trying to figure out when.
I was, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be here. I won't be able to go there. You were gonna go there?
That's gonna come where it's on.
Yeah. I've got.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. We'll have to do it here on Zoom, but yeah, that's the.
Yeah, that's all right.
Anyway, I think it's the 6th or the 7th. It's a Thursday, I know. Anyway, so that's the other thing. So again, as I mentioned last time, hoping for one of your meetings next month, I'll have, now that we have the numbers from the fire department, I'll be gathering some more from the highway and the sewer and the town clerk to try to get a preliminary idea of what the budget will look like, and we can start those discussions in one of the November meetings. And that's all I got for you right now.
That sounds good.
I had one item regarding sidewalks here on Main Street. That a resident has a concern because the sidewalk, it broke up and I guess there's holes or whatever, because they haven't removed the piece of the sidewalk concrete. And if there's anything that the town can do to just kind of straighten out probably straighten out the driveway from where the concrete was, or probably a hole or whatever, I don't know exactly, but I didn't know if that was a possibility or not. I assume the town did the sidewalk sometime. But
Yeah.
not concerned about the sidewalk, just the driveway.
Right. Okay.
The pieces, the chunks of cement are gone, I guess.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Removed.
Well, as I know, Seth has a plan to get some hot mix here at some point in the next month, a week or so, so maybe I can talk to him if I find out where that is. I don't know if that's an idea or that's a
I don't know,
possibility.
I think Seth probably should look at it.
Right,
I mean,
yeah, all right.
Someone should look at it and see what the actual problem is.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
the road person or driver.
That's it.
It's Murphy's place, they who bought, I don't know whose house it was.
That was, what's her name? She was always,
Can't think of the name.
no, I can't think of her name.
Main Street?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
So what's that?
No, that was
Oh.
last year's. Severance?
I can picture the couple there.
Was it Severance?
Yeah.
Severance?
Oh, Severance's?
Where Yvette and Raymond used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Raymond's house.
Yeah. Okay.
pretty sure that's where it is.
Yeah, well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So the sidewalk's up higher than the street. I mean, I wouldn't think asphalt would be anything.
Oh, yeah, so that was that
Anything
sidewalk,
like
yeah, so that, I don't know.
Taking care of the dirt or whatever. I haven't been there to look, so.
Part of the concrete is coming out.
Yeah, well, that,
It's been
that whole
broken.
sidewalk is quite,
Yeah,
yeah.
if
Okay.
that ought to be all torn out where you say it is there, because it's not safe for anybody to use as a sidewalk.
No, I know, the kids use it during
I
Halloween.
think
that's
someone's-
about it.
Someone's car must have got some
So,
attachment damage.
so in other words, they'd like the backhoe to come down and dig out the concrete, tear it, smooth it out.
So that's-
Something to that effect, yeah,
Okay.
right there.
Yes. Put some stone back, crystal back in there, yeah. First, the sidewalk is heaved up and causing an issue.
What's that?
I said the sidewalk is heaved up in the driveway and causing an issue with these low flying cars.
Low flying car.
I guess I should mention one other request, like, or I had a discussion with a person who moved into one of those houses on 105, or the house that Durkee's used to own that is downstream from where the water where the water leak was this spring, and they had some complaint about their basement being affected by that. I was a bit suspicious of that because they bought the house after the water leak was fixed. And I said, well, I will get in touch with our insurer to see what the process would be for that, if you wanted to try to file a claim, but I believe that would be on them to do the investigation rather than the town. But anyway, just to let you know that that was a concern that crossed my desk.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, there was a water leak there for a while, but it was fixed as far as I know. So if they're having problems now, I don't know how that's related to what the town is doing. But anyway, anyway,
Alright,
yeah.
so is that it before we go to executive?
I think that's everything I don't need.
Alright, I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Alright,
Second.
Alright, so we have a motion and a second to go into executive session to talk about personnel, and as we exit executive, we'll return for the evening.
Was it voted on?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?